happening now, the latest on a federal drug raid in Jamestown that landed one man behind bars. And our coverage of bullying at Jamestown High School continues as we follow up with the school superintendent about what's next to keep our kids safe. Plus, a search is underway for a search and rescue dog here in Chautauqua County.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
Thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. Those stories and more are coming up, but first, the FBI alongside Jamestown police, they seized drugs and several weapons following a raid on the city's north side. It happened just after 11 in the morning yesterday. The Jamestown Metro Drug Task Force and partners raided 250 Schuyler Street, apartment number 10. 36-year-old Von Grant, police said, was arrested following a traffic stop nearby his apartment. He was stopped leaving the area just prior to when police kicked in the door. In the apartment, police allegedly recovered over 600 grams of meth, nearly 200 grams of crack cocaine, 3 grams of MDMA, that's known as Molly or ecstasy, 3 loaded pistols, one of which was reported stolen, a loaded AR-15 rifle, ammunition, scales, drug packaging materials, and over $14,700 in cash. Now, as a convicted felon, police said Grant is not legally allowed to possess the firearms. Following the raid, he was held in federal custody and faces several charges connected to the alleged drug trafficking. He will later be arraigned by a federal court judge. A 23-year-old Jamestown man has been formally charged in connection with a fatal shooting in Jamestown last fall. On Thursday, the Chautauqua County District Attorney Jason Smith announced Jonathan Camacho Monge has been formally charged with the murder of 46-year-old Angel Pacheco, who was shot to death on October 19, 2021 on Water Street in Jamestown. Camacho Monge was arraigned Thursday as part of a one-count indictment of murder in the second degree. That's a Class A1 felony by Judge David Foley. This indictment was filed back in May of this year. However, the DA's office says Camacho Monge was held in Pennsylvania on another felony charge for approximately 6 months, which led to this delay. And a 34-year-old Dunkirk man, he faces a slew of charges after allegedly shooting 2 children during a drive-by in Chautauqua County over the summer. It's Javier Cruz Corvalzi was formally charged by the DA's office yesterday in connection with the July 8th shooting of the kids, both ages 8 and 12. According to witnesses of this alleged attack, the children were in a vehicle traveling on Route 60 when the shooting occurred. The car stopped at a nearby quick fill in Fredonia. That's when medical personnel stepped in and treated the kids before taking them to Brooks Memorial Hospital. Well, officials are responding to concerns at Jamestown High School after a local mother spoke out about her son's bullying this week. As Alyssa Wright reports, harassment both on and off of school grounds isn't a new problem at JHS. However, the school superintendent is reassuring parents he and his staff are doing everything they can to crack down.
Any report, of course, of anything that's dangerous, we're going to take very seriously. And that goes from bullying all the way to any reports of weapons. So should there be anything founded and should there be anything that is uncovered as a result of those investigations, it will be treated very seriously.
While Jamestown Public Schools Superintendent Dr. Kevin Whitaker can't specifically speak to last Friday's incident where a member of the so-called Young and Deadly gang harassed 15-year-old Yadiel Diaz, prompting his mother to speak out exclusively to WNY News Now, the superintendent isn't taking this incident lightly. Since our story aired, several parents called for stepped-up security in schools, specifically seeking metal detectors. However, this seems ineffective, according to Whitaker.
In 2015, the federal government did an audit on the TSA, and they brought, obviously with permission, they brought weapons and bombs and explosives through that system. And the percentage that got through is shocking, because some people might say, I don't know, 10%, 1%. 95% of those got through.
Whitaker instead is working to create a see something, say something environment.
Developing relationships with kids and parents is paramount. That's the absolute most important thing we can do in terms of communication. Because if a student doesn't have any kind of relationship with any kind of adult, you're not going to get information from that student if they're in a state of anxiety or trouble or concern.
Moreover, the superintendent says the best way to avoid problems in the future is to engage in open communication.
I think the big thing is it's not one person or one activity. It is a collection of all sorts of things, from proactive things to relationships to parents in communication with school staff to our SRO program to partnerships between community and school. There are lots of different things that go into this.
Alyssa Wright, WNY News Now.
A local search and rescue dog mysteriously went missing last week from an Asheville home, with his handler now asking for the community's help in locating him. Sven and his owner, Brianna Ford, work with the Cherry Grove Search and Rescue Team in Warren County, PA. The two were staying at her grandparents' house on Wellman Road back on October 5th. Sven went out with several other dogs at her grandparents' home, but never returned. Since then, searches of the immediate area took place. Ford, her family, and friends used ATVs, drones, and even called on another search and rescue canine to help out.
It's just so hard to believe that he ran off. I mean, it's very possible. At this point, we don't really know. But it's also possible that someone could have picked him up. So in that case, whoever does find him or brings him back to me or gives me any information, we are offering a reward for his safe return.
Well, there have been a few sightings of the dog that look like Sven. No solid leads have come in yet. If you do happen to see him, Ford says don't approach Sven, but rather give her a call or shoot her a text. The number is 716-456-1070. Certainly we hope he can come home safe. Well, now let's switch gears a little bit and get a first check of our weather forecast. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter joining us live with a beautiful shot there over Warren County as the fall foliage starting to change here and even there, Dakota.
Yes, it is. The fall colors across the entire region are really nearing their peak or at peak already. You can see the colors from the Warren City Bank Skycam, and man, it is a beautiful look out there with some of those fall colors. And the good news is the rain has ended for today, but take a look at the rain total from Wednesday night through yesterday. 1.33 inches was the rainfall total. I had 1.5 inches at my house on the south side of town. So, so we had some pretty heavy downpours Wednesday night and then through the day yesterday. Now that 60-degree high you see here was early in the morning yesterday. We slid through the 50s and really ended the day pretty much in the upper 40s. 35 is where we started the day. 83 and 18 are the records. So through the afternoon today, partly to mostly sunny, a bit cooler, still breezy at times. 54 to 60 with that southwest wind, 10 to 15. Could look at wind gusts around 30 miles an hour. Now, we could be dealing with our first snowflakes of the season next week. We'll talk about that along with the Ultimate Satellite Solution 7-Day later in the show, Justin.
Say it ain't snow, Dakota. We'll see you back in just a bit. As we continue, we're continuing with election coverage, breaking down last night's state assembly debate here in Jamestown. And a little bit later on, we're looking ahead to a big conference that's coming here to the city next week, attracting climate and energy specialists from across the nation. Stay with us. WNY News Now is back after this.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
I'm a survivor.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Looking for a fair and honest auto mechanic? Look no further than Dwyas Auto Service. Located at 140 Main Street in Randolph, our family-owned business is ready for all of your automotive needs. From general service to more complex repairs, count on Dwyas Auto to keep you on the road. We not only keep your cars running smoothly, but also looking great with our expert detailing crew. Send us a message on Facebook or call us today at 716-358-2292 to set up an appointment. Dwyas Auto Service. Fair, honest, and the best prices guaranteed.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Candidates for New York State's 150th Assembly seat discussed their priorities during a debate here in Jamestown last night. Among top issues include inflation, crime, and gun laws. Our Julia Gress is breaking down what Assemblyman Andy Goodell and challenger Sandra Lewis had to say.
National Fuel just mentioned that our anticipated energy costs will go up 50% this year for natural gas to heat our homes. And there's reasons for that because it's being driven by bad state policy.
Incumbent Andrew Goodell also listed reinstating bail discretion, welfare reform, and gun rights as his main focus heading into a new term. Sandra Lewis, however, has a different priority list.
There are people that are struggling with their rent. The rent prices have gone up. There's some programs I'm thinking about starting here that I've seen elsewhere in the state, like subsidized housing.
The SUNY Fredonia professor also emphasized the importance of working with the new gun laws and improving them, not seeking to overturn them. The effects of inflation remained a focus throughout the night, as each of the candidates shared how they would combat the near recession.
I support a gas tax cut. Unfortunately, it was only temporary. Surprise, surprise, it expires shortly after the election.
Lewis says that she would investigate how gas prices in Chautauqua County are more expensive than in Manhattan and work to achieve the same subsidies that area receives to lower our gas prices. Candidates were also given the chance to share their opinion on the new gun laws.
I see nothing wrong in requiring someone to have training for using that weapon. I find nothing wrong in having someone have a background check to make sure they don't have a criminal record, and having someone to share their social media.
Goodell, however, says the new laws are in direct opposition to recent Supreme Court rulings and only restrict legal gun ownership. The focus then shifted to adjacent concerns of crime.
New York is the only state in the nation that does not allow judges to consider how dangerous the person is that was just arrested in determining bail. Senator Barillo and I have introduced legislation to restore judicial discretion so that our judges can do the job they were elected to do, protecting you and your neighbors and your kids from criminals.
While Lewis agreed with Goodell about judicial discretion, she has her own opinion on how to keep our community safe.
Bad things happen to good people. And we can point to all of the sensationalism of that case where someone was murdered by somebody who got out on bail or did not have bail. There is other ways that we can address public safety. I would support having street cameras to catch things. I would support using technology in that way.
Julia Gress, WNY News Now.
Julia, thank you. The full hour-long debate is posted right now at WNYNewsNow.com and on channel 716 on Roku. Well, following the enactment of the Child Poverty Act last year, Governor Kathy Hochul has launched an advisory council to reduce child poverty statewide. And yesterday, the council had their first meeting. The council ranges from advocates, associates, regional economic development councils, and community members who have firsthand experience with poverty. They have a goal to cut child poverty in half over the next decade. In their first meeting, they highlighted considerations including disproportionment in different communities. And employment alone doesn't necessarily mean you'll escape poverty. Moving forward, the council hopes to gain input from agencies, bring in data experts, and work in urban institute areas to develop updated poverty education measures that are specific to our state. The next meeting is set for December. And applications will soon be open for New York State's Cannabis Compliance Training and Mentorship Program. The 10-week program is based on existing farmer apprenticeship and fellowship programs with the goal of preparing farmers for the cannabis industry. It will consist of webinars covering topics such as cannabis cultivation. The application window begins October 20th. It'll close on November 3rd, and the webinars will take place between November and February of 2023. Well, an eco-friendly climate tech conference for manufacturers will be held in the city of Jamestown next week, showcasing many green energy options in our area. Our Bronson Rasmussen joining us live in the newsroom with more on what we can expect during the event. Bronson?
Justin, hosted by Jamestown's Board of Public Utilities, the 2.5-day conference will show investors, entrepreneurs, and manufacturers from across the nation the benefits and opportunities that come with green technology. We spoke with event organizers on what to expect to come out of this conference.
We're bringing in around 200 people, both from our region and outside of our region, to help us talk about how we can transform our area manufacturing to move into the climate tech and clean tech sector.
DeTanto goes on to say that the timing of the expo couldn't be better.
I can't think of a better way to get this conference underway than the recent announcement that Electrovaya, which is a lithium-ion battery producer, is going to be located right here in the greater Jamestown area. That is a clean tech, climate tech business. So we think that that's a great way to kick it off and to say, yes, we can in fact become part of that sector.
If all goes well, Chautauqua County could become a real gem within New York State.
One of the things that we've been concerned about for a long time is that we've been called part of the Rust Belt, and that's been for a number of years. Manufacturers have moved.
Starting on Monday the 17th, the first 2 days will allow those who signed up to attend multiple discussions and classes on the impacts of this new technology. The final day, Wednesday the 19th, from 1 to 4 p.m., event organizers will showcase many new green technologies to the public.
We are going to have a number of commercial and consumer automobiles, and the other item which is really going to be exciting is we have an electric bus, a 40-foot electric bus that has been purchased by the NFTA from New Flyer, and New Flyer has a local manufacturing facility, and they made parts for that.
Funds for manufacturers looking to get involved with climate tech are readily available from federal, state, and local monies available. Live in the newsroom, Bronson Rasmussen, WNY News Now.
All right, Bronson, thank you very much. Coming up next here, Dakota's back with a full look at our weather forecast, and I got some bad news for you folks. Snow. It's projected to come into our region pretty soon. He'll have the details after this.
When severe weather breaks, one team has you covered, tracking the storms as they happen. Catch your First Defense forecast daily on WNY News Now.
Walking from Jamestown to Orchard Park is a long trek, but when rallying for a good cause, anything is possible. I'm Patrick Smeraldo, and I need your help to get there. Starting on November 11th, I'm walking over 60 miles to the Buffalo Bills Stadium, raising money for two great causes: Harrison's Playmakers and foster care in Chautauqua County. Harrison's Playmakers is a non-profit launched by former Buffalo Bills defensive tackle Harrison Phillips to connect kids with disabilities in sports. Furthermore, donations for this 3-day hike will also benefit CASA of Chautauqua County and the Stone family, who are assisting local foster care children during National Adoption Month. Learn more about my journey and to donate at ccsolutions716.com.
Slow down. Slow down and move over. Move over.
When you see signs,
Lights, vests,
please give us some room.
slow down. Slow down and move over. When you need help,
It's our job
to help you.
to save you.
Despite the danger.
This danger.
This danger is real. Do your part.
Please
Slow down. Slow down. And move over.
move over.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
Fast, accurate, and everyday. First Defense weather.
It's chaos in the studio. You'll see why a little bit later on. But I wanted to show you this amazing picture of some geese. And our friend Don was able to capture, or seagulls, excuse me, not geese, seagulls. I was still thinking of the other picture. Anyway, just craziness going on around here. Thanks to Don for sending that in. Hey, fall foliage. Now, if you missed it yesterday, the update just came out this week. And the southern tier now is pretty much near or at peak for fall colors. So now is the time to get out and take a look at all those fall colors across the region, because from here on out, they're going to start getting past peak and the colors are going to start getting muted throughout the rest of the fall season. Friday Night Lights game of the week is, of course, Jamestown. They are on the road to Niagara Wheatfield tonight. So if you're heading to the game up in Niagara County, 52 degrees at kickoff, 50 degrees at halftime, will ultimately fall down to likely the upper 40s by the time the game on. So no weather hassles, but you might need a light jacket out there. The sun is back across downtown Jamestown right now, 50 degrees as of noon hour, a bit breezy with that southwest wind to 14, and we do have a wind chill of 45, but all in all, not too bad out there for this Friday. Now the bigger story really is going to be cold air. This is the current 6 to 10 day temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center, and where you see all that blue, that indicates or favors much below average temperatures. And as we hinted, we could be seeing our first snowflakes Tuesday and maybe Thursday. So I don't want to scare you here with this, but I want to show you two computer models. This is the American GFS, and you can see here it's suggesting over a foot of snow by Thursday. Now look at the European ensembles. Virtually nothing. So understand, totals, we still don't know just yet. We still need to fine tune those, so check back throughout the weekend and next week. So here we have a boundary moving on through, high pressure sliding on out, but notice we're already seeing the snow back behind the banner. So here's the newest runner future scan, showing you basically mainly dry through the day. Those little blips are not going to happen. So we are going to see partly to mainly sunny skies through the afternoon hours today. As we go through tonight, partly to mainly clear. As we go into tomorrow morning, we'll catch a few scattered showers tomorrow morning. That'll be the best chance for the rain. Then it clears out for the afternoon, partly to mostly sunny for the afternoon. Sunday will likely be a little bit drier, but we still catch a few isolated showers. Now the next 7 days of your life, powered by Ultimate Satellite Solutions. So you can see we're going to be 59 tomorrow, 56 on Sunday. Here comes that cool air, potentially the first snowflakes of the season, Justin, Tuesday and Wednesday. We will start to dry out next Thursday.
Alrighty, Dakota, thank you very much. Well, in an effort to help our furry friends find a forever home, we're partnered with the Chautauqua County Humane Society for our Pet of the Week. Joining me today is Allie Piran to talk more about this week's featured furry friend. Thanks for coming in,
Thank
Allie.
you for having me.
So tell me a little bit about our guy here. He's such a beautiful dog.
So this is Alan. He's a 3-year-old dog available through the Chautauqua County Humane Society. He's a goofy little boy. He loves to play. He loves his treats, as you can see. He has been at the shelter with us for 494 days.
Really?
Yeah, so he's been with us for a while. And for no particular reason. He's fun, loving, loves everyone he meets. He's great with other dogs. A little iffy with cats. We're probably recommending a no cat home for him just because he does have a little bit of a prey drive. But other than that, he's a friendly little dude looking for a home.
Absolutely. And we were talking during the weather segment about how sometimes when you have a beautiful dog like Alan, he has a lot of energy. And you have to direct that into positive ways. And we kind of saw that when he came in. He sort of bull in the china shop, kind of walking around. Super friendly, super happy. And as soon as we got the treats out, that really motivated him to focus.
And he's very motivated by food, by working with him, by his toys. His ball actually rolled around over there, so that's why he's trying to go get right now. But yeah, if you just focus his energy, he's going to be a great family pet.
Yeah. In fact, you want to just let him go? Let him go get the ball?
Sure, go
Alan,
get it.
go get your ball.
Go get your ball.
Go find the ball.
Go get your ball. Where is it?
He's like, okay.
He's like, I got it.
Come here, Alan, come back.
Come here, ball.
Come on. Yeah, good boy.
boy.
There, see, he listens very well. So, come over
Come here.
Come here.
Come here.
It's like, well, now that you let
He's
me
like,
go.
now I got to go say hi to everyone.
And with that, I imagine the training aspect of it and working with him and the positive reinforcement, that could be something great for a family.
Oh yeah,
to be able to
definitely.
take on.
Yeah, so we're recommending for him just because he is a little more high energy, over probably 5 years old, just because young kids might be a little much because he might knock them over.
Right.
But anybody that has some kids, I think he'd be a really great fit for.
Yeah, and I'm sure he'd love to play ball and
All
throw
day
back and
long.
forth. Yeah. So, in fact, right now he almost looks like he's just ready to enjoy this ball for the rest of the year.
Oh yeah, if he could keep it all day long, he would.
Absolutely. So, if someone is interested in Alan, what's the easiest way for them to meet up with him?
So you can go on our website, and it's chqhumane.org. You go on there, you can fill out an application, make sure you put his name on it, and then we will get in contact with you, and then we can bring you in to meet him. If you can't access the internet, you can always come right into the Humane Society, and we can get you an application for that as well.
And I know important, you mentioned earlier, he's good with other dogs, but you want to make sure your dog is good if you're coming into the household. So you can facilitate all of that.
Yep, so we can do a meet and greet with him, make sure it's good on both sides, that he's happy, that you guys are happy, and then we could go from there.
And
he actually
Alan
saw
just
himself.
found himself,
Come here, bud.
ladies and gentlemen, on the
here,
monitor.
Alan.
He's like, who is that gorgeous dog off camera? I must meet him.
He is very goofy.
Thank you both for coming in.
Thank you so much.
Coming up next, we're hitting the racetrack as part of a friendly competition between law enforcement here in New York to raise money for kids going to summer camp. That's on the other side.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first. WNY News Now is covering stories that matter to you.
Police and other local law enforcement agencies are looking for the person responsible for a shooting.
One of the benefits of this new feature is it not only works with the newer parking meters that the city's been rolling out, but these traditional meters as well.
From muddy trails to slick cliff edges to structures that have fallen into disrepair, these are just some of the problems that this park faces.
WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Walking from Jamestown to Orchard Park is a long trek, but when rallying for a good cause, anything is possible. Starting on November 11th, I'm walking over 60 miles to the Buffalo Bills Stadium, raising money for two great causes: Harrison's Playmakers and foster care in Chautauqua County. Learn more about my journey and to donate at ccsolutions716.com.
Catch your first defense forecast daily on WNY News Now.
Law enforcement from sheriff's offices across New York, they faced off in a little friendly race this week. As WNY's Sam Shapiro reports, it's all part of the Sheriff's Showdown, which is helping to raise money to send kids to camp.
The Sheriff's Showdown raises funds to help send roughly 900 kids to the New York State Sheriff's Institute summer camp who might not typically have the opportunity to attend due to cost.
It's free to the kids. Kids that may be in poverty or having some difficulties in life get to come to a week-long camp, and we raise the funds to send them there for free.
In 2019, sheriffs raced on horsebacks through an obstacle course in Livingston County. Sheriff Thomas Doherty had home field advantage back then, winning first place at the inaugural competition. Today they hit the track at Watkins Glen International, and Doherty was thrilled to see more sheriffs drive through WGI this year after COVID-19 postponed the second showdown for the past 2 years.
And we have more sheriff participation. I think they feel more comfortable in a car than on a horse that might be a little unknown and maybe a little more risk on the horse. But here, we're going to be driving at high speed, so I think there's risk with this too. We'll see. 27
sheriffs came out to the friendly competition this year. Schuyler County Sheriff Kevin Rumsey says he was thrilled with the turnout, and these type of events help law enforcement connect with one another.
We do a couple of conferences a year that kind of bring everybody together, but it's just really good camaraderie and the networking, the talking amongst the sheriffs about current events and things that are going on.
Now, many of the sheriffs tell me they look forward to using the competition again next year to continue supporting the kids. Reporting from the Glen, Sam Shapiro, WNY News.
Sam, thank you very much. Great to see all of our sheriffs, including our own Sheriff Jim Quattrone, who took part, and what an excellent fundraiser for the city. Well, that is going to do it for us this week. News continues 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com. Otherwise, our program's back here Monday live at noon and anytime on Channel 716. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday.